Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
We're so thrilled to have on incredible singer, songwriter, guitarist, pianist. He does it all, and he's got a brand new album out. Paul Childers.
Thank you for having me, brother.
It's good to have you back on the show.
It's been too long.
Way too long. You know, we were talking before we came in the studio. We first met back in 2017, 6 years ago.
Yeah, the first record.
Yeah, the first record. And when you were playing Acme all the time.
Which was, I mean, still some of the glory days
Right.
when it came to playing down on
Well, you know, and
Broadway
it's
for
interesting
us.
to me, you know, keeping up with your music career and your touring and everything, and also talking with your family. You know, your mom and dad, so I know what's going on.
Easily the biggest fans to this day.
That's great, though.
I mean, like the amount of opportunities that have come up, or the amount of time that I get to spend with them, even on the road,
Right.
is still that's not lost on me.
No,
Very
no,
grateful.
what a great experience. But I wanted to bring up, you know, with your new album, the one about her, it's like the songs, the whole album, it's kind of an evolution of Paul.
It is. You know, someone told me that albums were dead, and I took that personally.
Right.
Because I think it's just such a great way to consume music, and it's a really fun and creative way to write music. To say, like, you know, I know this era of singles is very popular,
Right.
but just one song isn't enough of a story for
No.
me. I like the idea that an album can feel like a movie or a show or episodic in
Yeah.
some way. And for the title, the one about her, it's everyone knows her. Everyone's had someone like her
Right.
or met someone like her. And the idea, the global idea, is just kind of understanding maybe in another life something would have worked,
Yeah.
maybe on another timeline, trying to understand the divine orchestration that puts you where you are in life, and how the people and the relationships with people in your life kind of change or alter.
Well, and I think that's what's so
succumb.
great about this album, too, to where it feels very cohesive. You know, listening
you.
to the entire album, and certainly more keyboards, you know, which is good because you adopted that piano.
I've developed a clinical addiction to synths. It's really fun.
I know, and I love the synth sound, man. It's like going, you know, it's like Paul sounds so poppy. It's like when you started, it was like, you know, raw blues guitar, and now you're kind of like refined.
Well, thank you. Like a whiskey in a barrel.
Yeah, or a
perhaps,
fine
but
wine that is
thank
aged
you.
to perfection.
Thank you. It's just, I like challenging what we call pop music or jazz. There's quite a lot of harmony on this in that sense. There's plenty of.
And your jazz chords are not lost on me.
Thank you.
Because I hear them in there.
Thank you. And you don't do it because you want to seem complicated or you want to feel like this is heady. It's just sometimes for the songwriting process and the way I like to play, guitar or piano, like these extensions, not to get nerdy or anything, it feels like that's a part of the story as much as the lyric. I like the idea that if there was no vocal on here, maybe you'd still know what the song is about.
Totally. Well, I think what's so great about your music too, Paul, that I've always appreciated your sensibility, is that you create a great bed for the lyrics. But to me also, with your albums in the past that have done so well, international tours and everything else, but it seems like you're really digging deeper on the lyrics. Like, when I listened to this album, the one about her, I felt like it's like Paul must have come out of a horrible breakup. It's like, geez, it's like I thought my life was rough. It's like going, I hope he's doing better now.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. This is probably the most personal thing I've ever written. And as it's coming out and the conversations I'm having about it, it's starting to sound like the most universal thing I've written too. So maybe in that sense that everyone does go through this, I do not wish it on anyone ever, but when it does happen, maybe it's nice to know that you're not alone. And that's what this was for me. And the writing is just a therapy. None of this was supposed to ever really be heard.
But isn't that the best music, though? I mean, because listening to it, and I certainly could relate to, almost all the songs on this album, to where it's cathartic. You get to share it and write it and create it, but also for the listeners and your fans, they can relate to it, and it has a broader appeal because it is so honest. I mean,
Thank you.
And not knocking any of the past albums that you've done, because I've enjoyed them all, especially the more guitar-centric, the better for me, as I know we have the same influences
Absolutely.
with Stevie Ray Vaughan and B.B. King and all these, but it seems like, you've really hit a home run with the lyrics.
Thank you.
And the honesty on this.
Thank you. That's, for not to sound all meta, but you just want to try to like find the truth and make it beautiful, make it sound beautiful, make it, don't sugarcoat it for what it is. There are definite moments of levity on the record that you're supposed to dance, you're supposed to party, you're supposed to, and I think those are the ups and downs of grieving, when it comes to...
Well, in relationships and life.
Yeah.
You got peaks, you got valleys.
You do.
got to get through the valley to get to another peak.
Yeah, and it's like a little death, except, you still have to drive past that exit all the time.
Exactly.
So just trying to understand as you become... I'm a little older now, and you just, like everything means a lot more.
Right.
Every conversation, every detail becomes good fodder for lyricism.
Well, yeah, and I think the depth, like we were talking too, I want to bring up also, I understand like with this, like a short film, like a documentary. I mean, tell me about this.
Yeah, so I've always loved music videos. Right. I just think they're fun.
Because somebody said they're dead.
I know. Everyone keeps saying that about everything we do.
Yeah, and I disagree.
I do too. I think it's a really fun way to... I don't want to define what a song is to somebody. In fact, it's more fun when someone says, this song is a wedding song, or this song was this song. I like that. But a music video is just a fun opportunity to dance a little, or to create a space or a color scheme, or I don't know. There's something about visual music as well. And so I wanted to take 6 or 7 songs and kind of Easter egg, dare I say, Taylor Swiftian kind of videos that just kind of make it all relate and have these little details and parts of my life, parts of hers, and it's been very fun to just to explore that side of...
So you're going to release it out as a complete piece
when
or
it's finished?
Individually?
Yeah, so the songs stand up on their own as music videos that you can watch, and they're coming out with the singles, and we're still releasing singles. But when it is all, when it's in its entirety, there will be a piece that...
Yeah, it'd be great maybe even do like a little theater showing or something.
Maybe we should. Let's call the Bell Court.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I thought, what about doing a little showing there?
Yeah, and I will personally make the hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, and and you could play a little music to open it.
Yeah, I like this idea.
And Q&A at the end.
Okay.
Just saying, Paul.
All right, it's on tape, so...
Yeah. Well, I got to bring up also, with the many great things you have going on right now, with the new album out, with the videos and the full, documentary, short film, you've also got Lancaster.
Yeah.
To where now you've got your own record label and you're helping other artists.
Yeah, that was originally kind of it was a joke that was just... it was filling a hole that was, how are we going to put this out and distribute it?
Right.
This is the 3rd time that I've done a major LP like this, and I was just like, I'm already doing all the work that a label does.
Right.
Why don't we incorporate and just, sink or swim with this idea? And that's my middle name is Lancaster, and it's been fun, and I find that it's easier to take a phone call and instead of be like, yes, this is Paul, the artist guy that's super insecure, I can say, no, this is the president and CEO of...
Exactly, I love that. But also, like we were talking before we came in studio to where...
Staff is still just one person, but we're working on that.
It's kind of like the Rock and Review. Oh, this is Eric's secretary. I need to have a different voice for that.
Yeah.
But I think what a great way, you were mentioning that it's inspirational for you, helping these other artists.
I love watching other artists work, because you think you know how to make a record, you think you know how to play guitar, and then you see someone do it in a way you never could have imagined, and then I'm going to steal that idea. I'm going to figure out how to incorporate that in my playing or in my kind of realm of music, and it's so just creative,
fulfilling.
And yeah, exactly, that's the perfect word. And watching these records come to life, that you get to see other songs and other artists. And
well, I got to ask you on this, Paul. Then, are you going to have a website with your artist roster? Are you going to have some of these artists touring with you?
This is sounding like a lot of work.
And maybe they open up for your
that
short
would be,
film.
I mean, hey, if we're talking like what I dream about right before going to bed,
let's go big or go home.
That's what I'm thinking. And so yeah. To short answer, yes, and all of that. I'm gonna watch.
Exciting.
This is gonna be, when we look back, this will be the genesis of all of that.
I think it's incredible. Well, I got to bring this up too, and I know that you can't tell us a lot about this, but I understand that you have a song that may be utilized in a movie.
Yes, I did a cover of what I think is one of my favorite songs ever. Every Little Thing She Does Is
Yes.
Magic.
And you sound so good on it.
Thank you. And it's
Which I love the song originally, but
it's the complete opposite, really.
Right.
It's slowed down. It's got a quartet on it.
That's what I love about it.
It's so strange. And again, it was really supposed to be the B-side of a project called One Man Show.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sent it out to some sync people and whatnot, and it was it was picked up. For again, I can't comment on it.
You could tell me, but you have to kill me.
Off camera.
Oh yeah, exactly. but will the film release this year?
I don't even know. This might be one of those things where it never comes out, and I'll have to go back and say, man, that was really close to coming out. But that's showbiz, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But at the moment, it's very exciting and thrilling.
Well, I've got to bring up too with your albums you've done in the past, and once again, I think this is your best work to date. But you're already, you have like over 500,000 spins on Spotify, and you keep growing with your followers and fans, and also being put into other playlists. And I was thinking too, loving your guitar work, and I know you're saying the next album's going to be more guitarish.
And this one has like some Stevie Ray solos and stuff. But
and some great acoustic work.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the guitar, it comes in waves. Like I was always known for it when I was younger, and I love a challenge, and I love, if you don't take a risk, whether like usually you're met with ridicule, but that's okay. Like that's what taking a risk is.
And being an artist. And being a creative.
I like being challenged. I like doing something that scares the daylights out of me.
And you still have to involve some guitar because you're endorsed by Taylor Guitars.
That is true.
And you do have a couple other electric instruments that I know of and have played.
Yeah, and like the guitar is always the center. And for when it comes to making the record with my producer and collaborator Ace, if I can't sell the song to him on a guitar and a vocal, if I'm not moving him with that, we're not going to cut it. There's no sense in cutting a song that doesn't work in that scenario too. Like you can overproduce something into an oblivion, and it's just a nice track.
Right.
So like the sentiment of the song always comes back to a guitar for me. Just sitting in a corner playing.
And that and your adopted piano.
Still very much a part of my life. If you go back and watch the first time we did this, that was, it's in my bedroom now. And it is, for as far as I'm concerned, always will be.
Right. I mean, I think for creatives though, it's like you have to have instruments around you all the time.
Well, yeah, and there's
the playable artwork.
If you can give like a sentient nature to it, like certain guitars and certain pianos have like this quality that pull
like a soul.
Yeah, and like you for some reason on that thing, I write. It's just, it's more than just play. It's more than just practice. It has this.
It's an extension of you.
Yeah, and I hope that always remains true.
I think it will, and I want to make sure for our viewers too. And I know, you do great things with vinyl with your records.
I am so as an album maker and a concept record guy. Like, there's no shuffle on vinyl. There's no skip.
No.
It like caters perfectly to the narrative you're trying to.
And so this is going to have a fancy vinyl with the artwork.
The last record was Secondary Colors, and it was like a 3-color vinyl pressing.
Right.
Naked Poetry was translucent.
Yeah, what a great album.
Thank you. And then this one is going to be, I don't want to give it all away, but it's got some Easter eggs on it as it's like specifically as it spins and two people kind of like chase each other for eternity. It's pretty cool. I'm excited.
I can't wait. I gotta have a copy.
Oh, it's coming. It'll be in the mail.
And so, but I want to make sure for our viewers too, Paul, with your website, with social media, obviously with Spotify and everything. Where do viewers need to go, and so they can order their vinyl and come see you live?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've seen you live, and it's like it's an experience.
Thank you.
Because you're so passionate about your music, and
the stage is a good like superhero cape, where you can just put on like a secret identity and be someone new for a set. Like,
but I like it that it's like you change up the songs every time. It's never the same set list. The solo's going to be different depending on your mood.
The audience and the band are as much on their toes. Like what song is this?
What's
again?
Paul going to do next?
I like that.
Yeah, but where do viewers need to go to keep up with everything, get the album, get your merch?
So my website is going to be the crux for most of all of that, paulchilders.com. There's a shop, the tour page is on there, and as far as Spotify and social media, if you want what I call like the ridiculous side of what I do, TikTok and Instagram, anything to stay relevant.
Well, you know, I was thinking also,
But
you know,
it is fun and creative. It's
Yeah.
just a different way to feel like you're a musician.
well, I was thinking with this album also, what you might want to do is you know, along with the merch, you know, the one about her, you could actually have like, you know, those tissue box holders to where it's like, because you might need a tissue for a few of these songs, and that way it's like it's all logoed up with Paul Childers on.
That's actually a pretty good idea, like custom.
I'm just saying, because you might have, you know, if your eyes get a little wet when you're listening,
Well,
just another great merch piece.
I like it. I like it. I like that idea. I'm gonna think a few steps further.
Yeah,
too,
I'm just
and
thinking,
say-
you know, like also, you know, where you can order a hug. You know, if like you're listening to the
That's
album.
a personal. That's always available at the merch table after any show. Free sweaty hugs. I like that'll. I'm happy to provide.
Is it like the Charlie Brown thing to where you've got like the little wooden thing? It's like, okay, come up and get a hug.
Bring it on.
For a nickel.
Bring it on. That's the best way to spread some joy.
Well, I can't wait to see the vinyl.
Thank you.
And especially, you know, with the singles you're coming out with and with the videos. But I want to see the whole cohesive piece, you know, with this short film.
It's been a journey, and my collaborator on that, Eric Georges, has been a huge part of that. He's the director and totally got the vision. And this is, you know, I'm sure you've heard over the past year, this was a pandemic record, or this has really been 10 years kind of in the making for me.
Of suffering.
Of pure torment. And now I
And
get
sharing that torment.
I get to play the songs the rest of my life.
Right, and it goes great with a box of Kleenex.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's some great ideas in there. But you're going to love this. You know, get the whole album. Certainly add it to your playlist on Spotify, the one about her, Paul Childers, but go see him live, because I don't think you can really experience, you know, the full songs and the musicianship and everything. You know, you're going to be like Barbara Mandrell running all over the stage playing all the instruments, Paul.
I've been known.
You know, just put a synth up here and a piano there and a guitar behind your back, and there you go.
You can always hit a cymbal with the headstock of a
Totally,
guitar.
or between your knees.
Absolutely.
Go see this guy live, Paul Childers, and get your own copy of The One About Her. Great album, more stuff coming out, probably a film showing also.
At this point, I'm going to have to back that
We're
up.
doing it all. Paul, thanks for coming on the
Brother,
show.
thank you, man.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.